I'm about to change how you make gimma forever. No browning, no dry bits, just pure melt in the mouth magic. Give me the next few minutes and I promise you'll be making this every single week. Growing up, when Mum made any meat dishes, whether it was gimma or lamb, she never used to brown the meat. It's not something that we ever grew up doing. When you cook the gimma the way I'm going to show you today, you'll find a noticeable difference in the texture. If you brown gimma first, you'll find that it has a gritty texture, but if you cook it the way I'm going to show you today, it will feel nice and soft and tender and have a completely different texture. This is slightly different to the recipe that's in my book, but essentially the technique is the same. We are going to start by dicing our onions. I've got 2 onions here. This will add a little bit of sweetness to your dish too. Then once your onions are all diced, you can add those straight into your pan. Then into that we're going to add ginger and garlic paste. This is my own that I pre-make. If you want to use fresh, that's fine too. Just use about 4 cloves of garlic and about 1 thumb of ginger. Then I'm adding in about 2 tablespoons of tomato passata. You can use fresh tomatoes if you want to, but I find that the tomato passata gives a really nice rich colour and flavour. And then gimma. Now I'm using mutton leg that's been minced. You can use whichever kind of mince you like, but I like the fat content of this. It's very minimal. If you like it more fatty and juicier, then add a mixed gimma in. There's 1 kilogram here. Then we're going to pop that on the heat and add in a good 200 millilitres of water. Then just mix all of this together. You'll find that by cooking it using this method that the mince won't form into clumps. It will all stay nice and separate and have a lovely texture. You'll find that as the meat catches some heat that it will also release liquid. So you'll end up with more than you started with, and that's absolutely fine, don't worry about it. When you see that it's simmering away nicely, reduce the heat and then pop the lid on. You're just going to leave this to cook gently for about 25 to 30 minutes. Then once your gimma has been cooking for a good 25 minutes or so, you can take a look and you'll see that most of the liquid has actually cooked away and you're left with all of the onions combined into the mince, which is exactly how we want it. Now the fun part. If you're using a lean cut of meat like I am, you'll need to add a little bit of oil or butter. If, however, you're using a fattier cut of meat, you can actually leave the butter out. You don't need to add it in. You'll find that there is enough fat released from the meat itself. Just let that melt in. We're also going to keep that liquid that's in the pan already. We're not going to dry this off just yet. Then once that's combined, you can add in all of your spices. Give this a quick mix in too. Now, because I'm using a slightly different recipe today, I'm actually going to add in some potatoes into my gimma. Any salad that doesn't have potato in my household is sacrilege, so we're going to stir those in. And this is where that liquid that's in the pan comes in handy, because we're going to combine these into the gimma and pop the lid back on and let the potatoes cook. And this will give the spices time to do their thing too. And then once the potatoes are almost cooked, we're ready for the next stage. They want to be cooked through but slightly firm. Now I'm using a waxy potato here. Waxy potatoes tend to work a lot better because they tend to hold their shape in curries and they won't disintegrate and turn into mush. You'll see also that the water has almost all evaporated. Then into that we're going to add fresh green chillies. We like the extra heat, so I'm adding in fresh green chillies, but you don't have to if you prefer it a milder flavour. And I like to add the chillies in at the end just because they hold their texture a little bit and they're nice and crunchy. If you prefer yours to have a softer texture, you can add the green chillies in right at the beginning and they will just cook into the gimma. You can drop those in along with your frozen peas. If you want to use fresh peas, that's okay too, but they will actually take longer to cook. I add these frozen peas in at the end just because they only take a couple of minutes to warm through and they hold their texture better that way. Then we're just going to gently mix that through. You'll notice now also that all of that extra water has evaporated and you're left with a perfect texture of gimma. We're just going to let those peas catch a little bit of heat while we chop our coriander. And we can stir in your chopped coriander. Now I like coriander, so I'm using a lot, but you don't have to use as much if you don't want to. This is by far the quickest and easiest way to make this particular type of gimma. You can, if you want to, fry your onions separately. So cook the gimma the same way I did right at the beginning, but then fry a separate onion and fry your spices and things in the onions along with ginger and garlic, and then stir that into your gimma if you prefer. But this is just such a great easy way of making this dish, especially since you don't always have to stand over it. It's really easy to just leave cooking. And there we go, that's all done. There's something about a pot of gimma that just feels like home. I hope this version gives you that feeling too, and when everyone asks you how you did it, you just smile and say nothing, and then come back here for another recipe. Save it, share it, and if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. There's plenty more where this came from. Go on. What are you waiting for? Make me proud.